This video we're going to look at how to talk about structural techniques used in the writing that you'll be looking at. There'll be new revision videos every week. Subscribe for the next in the series. This first structural technique is multiple perspectives, and this is where a story is narrated from the viewpoint of several different characters, and this provides a well-rounded understanding of events. I don't have any examples of this because it's not going to be a massive long video, and you'd have to have a big chunk of the text to look at examples of that. A nice structural technique to look for is a minor sentence, and this is a sentence that lacks a main verb or a subject, but it can convey a complete idea. They're often used for emphasis or in an informal speech and writing. So, for example, never mind is a complete sentence. It doesn't have a subject or a verb, but it conveys a complete thought. They're only really usable in context. Colloquial language often is lumped in with structural techniques, and this is an informal everyday language used in casual speech and writing, often includes slang and contractions, and the contractions is why it's often seen as a structural technique as well, and regional expressions. So, for example, y'all is a colloquial term for you all, commonly used in the southern US regions, and it's that contraction that makes it a structural technique as well as a language technique. Ellipsis, I love an ellipsis. It's a punctuation mark, it's those three dots together, and it's used to indicate the omission of words. So when you leave something out, or a pause used in speech, or thought. So it creates a sense of trailing off or leaving something unsaid. An example is, I wonder if, it doesn't matter. So the ellipsis indicates a pause in the speaker's thought, and then, they've trailed off. Yes, that sort of trailing off effect. Tense is another really good structural technique to talk about, and in grammar it refers to the time of an action or state of being described in a verb. Action or state of being, being described in a verb. There are three primary tenses: past, present, and future. It can be simple, continuous, perfect, or perfect continuous. I think tense needs a whole video on its own. And it indicates different aspects of the timing or duration of an action. So, for example, in the sentence, she will be reading a book, the thing that tells us about the tense is the will be reading part, and that's future continuous tense. Hyperphoria is lovely. It's a rhetorical device, so it's a bit like a rhetorical question, but then it's answered in the text immediately. So it's a rhetorical device where the speaker asks a question and answers it immediately. It's used to raise a point and then address it directly, providing emphasis and clarity. So, for example, we might be told, how do we know this? We have evidence from various studies and experiments. Like and subscribe, and we'll get on with your English revision.